Hey guys, 22 Plinkster here. I haven't made a comparison video in a long time, but I get a lot of questions in pertaining to the 22 Magnum pistols. Either you want this guy, or this guy. So in this video, if you're looking to buy a 22 semi-automatic pistol, I'm gonna go through the pros and cons of each one of these guys. I get a lot of questions pertaining 22 Magnum pistols, and I'm going to start with the oldest firearm in the semi-automatic platform in 22 Magnum that is currently in production today. There may be a few more companies out there that I'm unaware of that makes a 22 semi-automatic, but these are the most common ones that you can go to a gun shop and buy. But this is the Kel-Tec PMR30. You may have watched my video on this years ago. This pistol is 14 years old. Believe it or not, the PMR30 was created 14 years ago. They're fixing to have their 15th birthday. So they've been tried and true, and they own the 22 Magnum semi-automatic market for several years. Let me shoot it a few times, and I will tell you what I like about it and what I don't like about it. Let me put these ears in because this is gonna be loud. All right, that's better. You may notice the big fireballs. Yes, with 22 Magnum pistols, you usually get a huge fireball. I'm just using some regular CCI A22, you know, the bulk pack that you can usually buy, this guy right here. And they're fire breathers out of a 22 semi-automatic pistol. But I'm going to kind of grade these pistols on the Plinkster scale. Now, this is just my opinion, and I have put thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds through these three pistols down through the years. But the problem with the Kel-Tec is it's not very eye appealing. You don't look at this firearm and say, oh, this is gorgeous, okay? But Kel-Tec doesn't make really pretty firearms, in my opinion, well, in a lot of people's opinion, but they make firearms that work. And so without going through all the bells and whistles and adding this and adding that, you can usually get a very affordable 22 Magnum pistol. This guy right here, you can find them for about $320 to $350. And it is a good handgun. A lot of people say, oh, this is the Jam-O-Matic. With 22 Magnum, they're very finicky, okay? A lot of times it's how you load the magazine. You can do something called rim lock, is when you overpass the round on top of the other one, the rim is on the other side, so it doesn't make it feed right. But if you're careful of loading your magazine, no matter if it's this gun or the other two I'm about to show you, you'll do just fine. I have put, I don't know, probably 1,500, 2,000 rounds through this handgun down through the years, and I think I've only had maybe one or two malfunctions, all depending on the ammunition that you're using. Again, I'm shooting CCI, so this runs flawlessly. It does have high-vis sights, which is a plus. It does have a place right up here where you can put a red dot. The trigger is really good on this handgun, but cosmetically and ergonomically, it's just a 22 Magnum pistol. It's not going to win any beauty awards. And the thin grip on the polymer right here, it's like you're gripping a 2x4, okay? There are no finger grooves or anything in here that you can get really comfortable behind the pistol. And this pistol, to a lot of people, they will shoot left or low left when shooting it because it's not round, it's flat. And so it's very easy to pull to the left. But I guess ergonomics, I'll have to give this pistol like a 2. Magazine capacity, 30 rounds. So I have to give that a 10. That is awesome that they can fit 30 rounds of 22 Magnum in this handgun. Reliability, I'm gonna have to give it a 9. Accuracy, I'm gonna give this little setup probably about a 7. So the other two pistols I'm about to show you are a little bit more accurate than this one, or I can shoot them a little bit more accurately. But overall, not a bad choice if you're looking to get into the 22 Magnum semi-automatic pistols. The next pistol I wanna show you is the Walther WMP. This pistol came out probably about 2 or 3 years ago, and it is one of my favorites. Now, the price range on this pistol is very similar to the Kel-Tec, $330 to $350, which is in a lot of people's price range. But what I like most about this pistol are two things. the ergonomics. When you grip this firearm, you can't tell it's a 22 Magnum. It's not like a 2x4 that you're gripping. It has stippling right here. It has finger grooves, and when you pick it up, it feels like you're, picking up a 9mm carry pistol. So the ergonomics on this pistol is far superior than that of the Kel-Tec. The only downfall, 15 rounds. It doesn't have the 30-round magazine like the Kel-Tec. You do have a high-vis sight right here on the front, not a high-vis sight on the rear, and the trigger on this thing is really good. So let's shoot it a few times. I'm only going to shoot it about, I don't know, about 6 or 7 times, because I got something else to show you. All right. Do you hear how loud that was? 22 Magnum it will rock your world when you shoot it. But the cool thing about the Walther is this. They recently came out with a suppressed model. Yeah, so I'm gonna show you the difference. This one right here, unsuppressed. Suppressed. Much quieter. Unsuppressed, suppressed. That is like super, super quiet for a 22 Magnum pistol. Whew, that is so loud. But the Walther WMP ergonomics, I'm gonna have to give it a 10. This firearm fits my hand like a glove. It does have a place right here you can put a red dot. Affordability, I'm gonna have to give it a 10 also, because it is the same price as a Kel-Tec. Now for magazine capacity, I can't grade it that high because it only holds 15 rounds. But if they wanted to make one that holds 30 rounds, they would have to redesign this grip. And I think 15 rounds of 22 Magnum is enough. And now that they have a threaded model, even better. Also, why I like this firearm compared to the other two is that this slide is super, super easy to rack. It's probably twice as easy to rack this slide than it is the Kel-Tec or the Smith & Wesson. So if you're bothered by arthritis or you have something wrong with your hands or you're not very weak and you want a 22 Magnum for self-defense, you can't go wrong with this Walther. All right, last but not least is the Smith & Wesson M&P 22 Magnum. This is the new kid on the block. This has been around for probably about a year, and I love this pistol. I love it. It is a very accurate, good shooter, wonderful trigger, very reliable, but there's only one problem: the price. The price is around $550. They don't make a threaded model version of this particular firearm, and Kel-Tec doesn't. Walther is the only one that's making a threaded 22 Magnum at this point. Let's shoot it a few times. All right, I've got to go. I don't know if this thing is sighted in well enough because I have not adjusted the sights since about a year ago of making the video, but I'm gonna try to go for the 4-inch plate at 100 yards. No, it's shooting way high, way right. Let's cancel that. It's not sighted in, it's about a foot off. Man, 30 rounds, now that wasn't 30 rounds, but 30 round magazine capacity in a 22 Magnum is a lot of firepower. The ergonomics on this particular pistol is better than that of the Kel-Tec, okay? The Kel-Tec, it's just like a 2x4. This is like a better 2x4. This is like a pressure treated 2x4 compared to a non-pressure treated. It's still very boxy, but you do have the 30 round magazine capacity. The trigger is really, really good on this firearm. The only downfall is the price. $550 to $600 for this pistol. You could buy 2 of these or 2 of these for what this cost. Now, if you don't have a budget and you want a 22 Magnum, get the Smith. But a lot of people, especially this day and age, don't have a lot of money to spend on firearms. So the Smith & Wesson is a very good choice. You can't go wrong with it. Reliability, I give this pistol a 10. I have put many rounds through this handgun, and it just goes off every time I pull the trigger. I don't get any jams. Ergonomics, I probably would give this firearm maybe a 6. Accuracy, I give this firearm a 10. It's all good. But the only bad problem is the price. So If you're looking to get a really good semi-automatic 22 Magnum pistol that is not as finicky with ammunition as the other ones, I'd go with the Smith if you have the money, okay? If you have weaker hands and you're wanting to use a 22 Magnum for self-defense and you want a gun that actually feels like a gun, not like you're holding a 2x4, this is a really good choice. The Walther, great choice. And plus, 330, 350 bucks. And they also come out with a with the threaded model. And the only bad thing about the threaded model is you do get a lot of carbon back in the face. So you feel it every time you shoot it coming out of this port, you do get some carbon into the face. Now, if you're just a diehard Kel-Tec fan and you don't really care about ergonomics, you just want something reliable, something extremely light. This firearm is lighter than any of these other two that I have here on the table. The Walther is by far the heaviest, but it does take some of that recoil out being as heavy. I would go with the Kel-Tec, to be honest with you. If you're on a budget, you want a kayak gun, you want a truck gun, a tractor gun, and you don't care if it gets scratched up, beat up, and you're going to use it as a tool, the Kel-Tec will have you covered. Guys, if you have any more questions, put them in the comments below. And if you think that I was off on anything, let me know, because everybody's hands are different, everybody's vision's different, everybody's trigger finger is different. You know, I could have messed something up, I could have got something wrong. But in my opinion, I rate these pistols and grade these pistols about how affordable they are, how reliable, and how accurate in the ergonomics of it. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions whatsoever, put them in the comments below. Until next time, y'all be safe and keep blinking.